Hi, this is John and Axel from NYC Geek Society, and right now we're going to be talking about Will Wright's panel at E3 with Jeff Keighley. And so he was supposed to talk about the future of gaming, but he didn't really talk much about that. But he also spoke of his new quote-unquote game.
Technically it is the future of gaming.
Yeah, I guess, but basically, his new project is called Proxi, Proxi, and yeah, I'm looking at my phone because I'm just looking at my notes. By the way, Axel's so cool; he doesn't need notes. Yeah. So Axel, I guess I'll throw it to you first. What are your initial thoughts about, or explain the project?
So Proxi is a mobile game coming in the fall.
Right.
So that was a big surprise. Will Wright hasn't made a game in a long time.
Right, the creator of SimCity and
Spore.
Yeah, ton of others.
But he's been doing other work on the side, like maybe in TV, maybe keeping a low profile. But we haven't seen an actual game from him in a while. So this game is pretty interesting because you're going to be exploring your own memories and seeing the connections between them. And you're kind of going to build your own game world or planet based on those memories. So what he wants to do is build a world where you could kind of see into your own subconscious. And initially, I was pretty excited about it. I was like, wow, this is a totally new concept. But then it quickly sinks in that this could be a tool used for manipulation of people as well. I'm interested in seeing how certain memories connect to others and make me the person I am, but I wouldn't want other people to get a hold of that information, and sharing that seems like a little, I don't know, it could turn out to be
a predatory, invasive kind of thing.
Exactly.
So yeah, a little bit. He didn't show anything, by the way, so it's still kind of abstract to me, how this is going to actually work. But from what he described, is he said you'll either put in some things about. Basically, he said you'll start off by talking about or inputting in some way your three most important memories, or what you designate as your most important memories. He said most memories fall into certain categories. He said something about people, places, time, and so you'll either tell a story or some other way you'll kind of put in your memories into the game, and then they'll kind of break them up into these categories, and somehow, because of this, you'll see how certain memories can link together. And he said that it'll form your own private world, and will have this interactive visual depiction of these memories and mapping your subconscious. He also said something about it'll create an avatar that will be called your id. Again, what any of this looks like, I don't really know.
Yeah, he didn't display any gameplay footage.
But he said, you'll have your private world that no one else will be able to see. But then you could also make some of your memories shared memories. And, so for example, you and let's say your parents have, this same memory, you could connect them and things could branch out in that way.
It's kind of like Ancestry DNA or was it 23andMe? You could get information from other people and connect them and see your lineage and history, but this is not history, it's memories.
Right. It's almost like creating your own zeitgeist of just this mapping out of not just your memories, but of your community or your family, or I don't know. I mean, it depends how big it gets. It could map out the world, So initially, what Axel said, that's incredibly exciting. I was thinking about what would it reveal about me, or how does that connect with other people that were in my memories and all that.
Or how can it improve your own life just knowing those
But
little details that you don't really see?
But if someone were to like hack into your private world, could that be bad? Or how much will they be able to even learn about you?
Yeah,
And also
and
like marketing, especially like, you know, could that be predatory? Or because he was talking about that
he was talking about privacy for a second, and he was like, you know, back in my generation, there was a certain standard for privacy, which is pretty strict. And now with this generation, he was just saying like, you know, people just post on Facebook, so it's kind of like
it's more loose. He said,
yeah, it's a little more loose
with our generation, I guess.
And I don't know, I guess there's a part of me that's thinking, like, is his generation just trying to, like, see how far they can push with our generation? Like, how far they can go with our lack of privacy in the world and how much we can take.
I mean, something, you know, I think about Will Wright, and it's interesting that he brought up the movie Jurassic Park, because he was saying, like, we all go to the movies and we all see Jurassic Park and it's the same thing, but with video games, everyone has a different experience. But it's funny that he references Jurassic Park because a famous line from that movie was, you know, the scientists were too busy thinking about if they could, they didn't think about if they should. And I feel like Will Wright is kind of in that same mindset where he's obsessed with like figuring out how to do things, but he's not really focusing on maybe
the ethics,
the ethics of that. Because like he was talking about, like in his mind, that game developers will be able to see and change the game based off of, you know, the player's preferences. But, you know, in this world of Google and Facebook and, like, you know, basically could marketers become predatory towards this as well?
Yeah, imagine, like, connecting your search history with, like, your subconscious. So it's a little much.
Yeah. And he even mentioned that, like, there could be, like, an addictiveness even on the video game portion of it, where if a game is catered to exactly how
I have to dig deeper.
Yeah, or no, but like, because Jeff Keighley was bringing up, you know, in the future, could you connect this to other games? And he said potentially yes. So, like, let's say a video game is catered to your personal, like, the way that you think. Like, that could become addictive, you know? Because the game will be feeding off of who you are.
I mean, I was also thinking, like, it's addictive in the sense of, like, looking at other people's memories and seeing, like, other people's subconscious and what are they thinking exactly. It's addictive in the sense of, like, how Facebook is. You could check, you know, people's history, photos, relationships.
Yeah, so almost like, again, like you're connecting, quote unquote, in a digital world, but does that impede your ways of connecting in the real world, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, already kind of dating has become more difficult in a way that you already know almost everything there is to know about a person, like the things you would talk about on a first date or in the profile.
Yeah, forget about horoscopes. Think about your proxy. That's the new horoscope.
Not what's your sign, what's your proxy.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we already even have stuff like that. Like, people ask for your personality type and stuff like that, you know, but I don't know. So, like, this is very exciting, but also sort of terrifying, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Any other remarks you'd like to make?
It's like Facebook. When it first came out, it was exciting, but it's also terrifying how much information is shared. I think this is something that, again, we're probably just going to adapt to in some sort of way. Whether it will be ultimately good or bad for us, not sure. We've never been too keen on ethics in the past, so I'm not. I guess my perception of it is a little more negative. I'm excited about it, but just being able to dig into somebody's subconscious, I think that's like kind of.
I mean, something else I need to like bring up though is that Will Wright in the past has had these big ideas that don't always play out, actually, because I remember Spore, he pitched as like, you'll be able to create this thing that will evolve into its own species, and different species that other people created will connect with each other. And then in the process of building it, he realized like the scope of his vision wasn't really possible with the technology. So maybe that will happen here too. I don't
know. I mean, we're in the age of machine learning, AI. Maybe this product won't be so great when it initially launches, but it'll be sure to improve over time, especially when you have machine learning on phones. You don't need like a supercomputer anymore.
Also, they talked about too, like, how do you know that people are going to be honest, about their memories, or I don't know. It's fascinating though. But like, share, subscribe, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your subconscious to not
tell Gibbs to get over here.
Yeah,
hang out with us.
He didn't want to join us today. But tell your subconscious to not give too much away. And NYC, Geek out.
All right.